Hello, everybody. This week we just finished with Chronicles talking about King David and the start of really King Solomon's reign. And one of the things that got brought up today is really this focus on prayer and worship. What do we mean by that? Well, the story takes place talking about how Solomon focused on building the temple. This is important because Solomon pretty much did everything David said. David took all the details, he took care of everything and made it happen. He made deals with kings, he made deals for his people to build this temple. And one of the things we've been reading through Chronicles this week as we read about the temple and the size, the order, the ornaments, the amount of gold used, all these things, the text is more focused on actually not what's not being said. Because one thing that's not being talked about during this whole time is worship and how people prayed and looked to God. It all talked about how everybody took upon themselves to build up the temple, how they made these deals. You don't see a relationship with God happening with Solomon or even with the fellow sons going forward. I mean, as we're talking today about that, we realize when it comes to prayer, this relationship with God, it's about coming together. And we start focusing on things like building up the temple, or building up things we want in our life. We miss out on the most important thing, our relationship with God. So this week, as we've read through Chronicles and hearing all these Old Testament kings, what they're going through, we're missing that relationship. And it's a reminder for all of us how much we need that, and that we look for other things like golden calves, our money, maybe our children, a spouse, or there's something in your life that keeps you focused on, to give you guidance that isn't God. And as you're hearing this and you're thinking about that, what is that in your own life? Because what we find out in Chronicles, it was the temple. One of the things I shared with the group today as we're working through Chronicles is that in Ezekiel, the prophet calls out that the person who helped build the temple, design the temple, and give the goods for the temple was actually the devil. Now from Scripture we read it's the king of Tyre, but Ezekiel says the spiritual warfare was the devil really helped build the temple. Think about that for a second. A temple for God, according to Scripture, was developed and made happen by the devil. What that means, though, is when we build these things and focus on these things that aren't on God, we lose our relationship. And that's exactly what happened to God's people with Solomon and during this time period. But that's the same danger we have ourselves. So my prayer for this week for you as we continue to read through Immerse and then see your journey with God is to take time to have that relationship with Him. Whether it be in prayer, with family, or being together, to know that we're not alone because He's with us. Until next time. If you take time to click here to subscribe, get a chance to keep what's going on our channel, what things are happening. If you look below, those are other videos that will help you understand better what's been going on. And of course, you can stay connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'd love to learn more from you. Thanks for checking out Southlake Immerse.